So, welcome back. I have not spoken, I guess, to the camera, but last night I started It's a Love Story by Annabelle Monaghan. This is her new book that comes out this summer. I read the arc of it. I say read because I did finish it this morning. I started it last night and I did not talk to you. I just jumped right in, and then I got up this morning and finished it before work. Because I was like over halfway through. I had like an hour-ish of reading left and I got up and finished it. So I don't really have normally I try and like intro it before I start the book, give a few updates throughout. Didn't do that. Instead I jumped right in, and now you're getting a end update. But before we get into that, I haven't even talked about what this video is. This is going to be a reading romance books for a week in honor of Valentine's Day. This is not a stretch for me. Kate! Everything I read pretty much has a little romance in it. So I don't have to be too selective, but there are definitely some books that are on my TBR, which is right below you, which is why I'm looking down here, that are definitely like fantasy and won't have romance, but that's okay. We are going to not read those this week. As I said, finished It's a Love Story this morning, and I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. I really, really liked it. I have given the other two Annabelle Monaghan books that I've read, I think either 4 or 5 stars. One I gave 5 stars, one I gave 4 stars, I believe. So this one at 4.5 fits right in with the other ones. Her books are always good. They're always like pretty short, which if you're looking for a nice, quick read, they are all pretty summery, so it's not necessarily the vibe right now, but regardless, they're amazing. And this one was about Jane, who is a producer, and in order to sell the script to like the production company that she works for, to get them to greenlight it, she stretches the truth / lies and says that she knows Jack Quinlan, who's like this famous musician, and she can get him to do a song for the movie, and then they say, if you can get Jack to do the song, we can make the movie. And so she and a coworker, Dan, end up going to his hometown because there's a music festival there that Jack's performing at, so they can try and find Jack and convince him to do the movie or make a song for the movie, because Jane was a child actress and she met Jack like one time years ago, so like she knows him, but they're not like in contact anymore. So she stretched the truth on that one, that she knew him still. Anyway, her and Dan, you come to find out, had like they were gonna go on a date. They like had this cute meet cute, and then he ends up working with her at this production company, and a movie that she wanted to make, he ends up getting like trashed, and so she's like, never mind, I'm not going to go out with you anymore. So they never go out with each other, and they have this kind of like animosity, but there's this always been this underlying attraction, obviously, because they were going to go out, but they never did. And now she's staying in his family home with him for a week while they're trying to track down this musician, and he is a middle child of 5 brothers, and he's like kind of the black sheep of the family, and they're sharing a room, but they're not sharing beds. There's like bunk beds and a twin, so there's 3 twins in this room, and they're sharing this room, and they're like going around the town, and it's really good. Jane has to deal with a lot of her like personal issues of feeling like unworthy of love, feeling just like she's not the main character, like guys don't like the funny girl, like she has to pretend to be this different person in order for guys to like her. Like the way that she is not enough, and that causes issues for them. But it's really good, really well done. And I will say, the other 2 books that I've read by Annabelle, which are on my shelf somewhere and I can't put my eyes on them right now. Are they over here? No. Where would I have put them? Oh, Nora Goes Off Script and Summer Romance. The main character, the FMC, is like both of those 2, she's a woman in her 40s that's a single mom. And so this was a departure from that for Annabelle. I was kind of expecting that. I think Jane is in her 30s, like early 30s, which is, again, different than her previous FMCs, which have been mid-40s moms and on their own for various reasons. Those are both great, but this was just as good and different for her. So I loved it. I haven't decided what I'm reading next. I have 4 books that I'm like trying to decide between. I have Yin Yang Love Song by Lauren Kung Jessen, which I have from the library, so I need to read soon. I could also read Play Along. Liz Tomford, one of those books in the Windy City series. I could read Accidentally Amy by Lynn Painter, which I have read the indie version. She just republished it like through a publisher, so it's a little different. I have First Time Caller by B.K. Borison, or You Between the Lines by Katie Neiman. Those I both got in my book of the month for the month. And many more. But those are the ones that are kind of like top of mind for me right now. That was more than 4 books. But the 4 that I'm mainly thinking are Accidentally Amy, the Windy City book, Yin Yang Love Song, and maybe that was it. Oh, or Before I Do by Sophie Cousins was the other one. Last night I actually spun a wheel to try and decide which book to read, and it picked It's a Love Story, so that's why I read It's a Love Story. Maybe I'll flip a coin or something. I haven't decided what I'm going to read next, but I've been talking for a while. I'll come back when I've picked a book and when I'm reading it, but I needed to give several updates in one, and I'm also planning on filming my January reading wrap-up today, which I'm behind on. I wanted to film it last week. I didn't, so we've got things to do, and I'll keep you updated. I am obviously getting ready for bed. But I wanted to give you an update on what I decided to read. So I ended up going with Yin Yang Love Song. Oops. Because I got it from the library and I have it for probably another like week, but I figured I might as well just go ahead and read it. So I started that this afternoon / evening, and I'm about 40% in. It's good so far. It's fake dating, and it's the FMC, Chrissy. She does like traditional Chinese medicine, so she's like an herbalist and she does like acupuncture. And the MMC, then, he is a cellist and he's like known as a heartbreaker, and so his management needs him to date someone and break up with them and like break their heart so that they can like boost ticket sales. And she needs help bringing more eyes and awareness to her business. So they kind of create this like mutual agreement that they're going to fake date so that he can dump her and appease his management, and that so that she can get eyes on her business because he's famous. So that's what's going on right now. And I'm about to get in bed and read a little bit more, but I needed to update you before I turn this light off, because when I go in my bedroom, the red light's on, and the red light, I can't film with the red light. It doesn't focus on my face. It doesn't work with this. So I'm going to turn on the heating pad because I like threw out my back this past weekend and it's been killing me. So I'm going to take some ibuprofen before bed and use the heating pad. So that's going to be all for now, and I will see you tomorrow. Hello, and it's the next day. I'm about to like wash my face and fully get ready for bed, but I finished Yin Yang Love Song, and it was 3 stars. Chrysanthemum, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good, and it was overly like metaphorical. They spoke in so many like metaphors and like song metaphors, flower metaphors. All of her family had flower names. It was just too much. I didn't like that. And the TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, I'm kind of a naysayer when it comes to that, like acupuncture, like herbalist vibes. And that's not to say that there are not benefits to it, but it doesn't, I don't have a connection there, and I don't know. It wasn't for me. So I did end up giving it 3 stars. Ven was great, like, and I loved like the cello aspect of it. It reminded me of the Julie Soto book, Not Another Love Song, because he plays the cello in that. But that book is 10 times hotter and better, in my opinion. But personal preference. My roommate really liked Yin Yang Love Song. So I will start another book tomorrow. Not sure what yet. I'm still thinking about those same options that I talked about earlier, except obviously we can nix Yin Yang Love Song as an option because I've now read it. But there's lots on the table yet to read. So I'm going to bed, or I'm going to get in bed. I don't know that I'm going to go to sleep right away, but good night.
Doesn't matter what I say to assure, she craves my happiness.
Good evening. I am about to lay in bed for the evening with my heating pad because I completely threw out my back last weekend and it is killing me, not getting any better. So I'm about to lay here, even though it's like 8:30, and use my Kindle and my clicker and just lay still. I started reading Onyx Cage Volume 2, which is the Lachlan Feuds series. The first 4 books are all in Rowan's POV, and the authors published like 2 parts of the same books from Evander's point of view, who's the male main character. And this video, I know, is reading romance for a week, and though it's not like a traditional like romance book, it's a like fantasy romance, like it's fantasy light and strong romance like plot, so I'm calling it a romance book. I don't even think I need to like it's a romance book, but it's not a traditional romance. Anyway, sorry. Kate is going to lay here with me while we watch, or while we read, and we're gonna hope that this heating pad does something. But got our mouth guard ready, everything within reaching distance, so I don't have to get up for the rest of the evening. But let's do it.
Cindy values hers. She does not know what love is. Spits at her own image. Bella is not beautiful.
Hey team. So it's now the next night, Friday night, and I wanted to give you a midway update for Onyx Cage. I am about 50% in, which would be where book 3 of the original series goes to book 4. I love Evander and I love Rowan. I love getting his POV. I will say, like, it is a lot of repeated scenes, obviously, but it's worth it. I'm obsessed with them. I don't want to spoil the books for you, so I can't really say what's going on because it is the like end of a series, but yeah, it's going good. I'm going to sit here. I don't know that I'll finish it tonight, but I'm gonna read some more this evening and we'll see how far I get. Obviously tomorrow is Saturday, so I will be reading quite a bit tomorrow, and I think I'm gonna make a trip to Barnes & Noble. But normally I end my reading vlogs, like I go Monday to Friday, so I will probably give one more update tomorrow with final thoughts of this week and what I rated Onyx Cage Volume 2. So I will see you tomorrow for my final thoughts. Okay, it's now almost a week and a half later, and I think I'm sitting in the same spot that I was when I filmed that last clip. I'm editing. I'm about to try and finish this video and get it up for you guys. It's a few days late. It's a few days past Valentine's Day now, but I realized I never came on and gave you final thoughts about Onyx Cage Part 2, and I think that this was my least favorite of the books in this whole like Lachlan Feuds series. Of course I love the original 4, which are all from Rowan's point of view, and then Onyx Cage Part 1, which is Evander's point of view as well. I even thought that one was good. Not as good, because it is, again, like repetitions of the same things that happened in the first 4, but because I like the first 4, I liked that one. This one, I don't know, it was really, really long. It was like 800 pages, which in the grand scheme of things is not that long, but the other books in this like series have only been like in the 300 to 400 page range, and it kind of like dragged because I knew what was going to happen, and parts of it, Evander's POV did not add what I wanted it to add. Whereas book 1, in the Onyx cage situation, we got more of his POV of like when they were like enemies, and that was more interesting. Whereas in this book, they like is when they kind of like get together, and it was not as interesting. So anyway, I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. It was my, as I said, least favorite in this like series, but I enjoyed it, and I then went on to read several other good romance books, but it was not during the span that I was filming this video. I read Deepened, loved it, 5-star read. I've read some really good fan fiction recently. I've been reading some good stuff. I'm about to start You Between the Lines, which was a Book of the Month add-on. It's by Katie Naiman. The cover's so cute. I'm filming a 24-hour readathon this weekend, so I'm trying to save some books for that are like anticipated, and I'm also saving my like book club book for that. I think I'm gonna reread Happy Place, so there's some fun stuff coming down the pike. And I also am filming a like anticipated release video, so there's a few books that I'm saving for that video. I'm gonna read, I think, Rebel Witch in that one, and I might read The Rival in that one. I'm not sure. I've got some things I'm percolating on, but wanted to end this video, and I'll see you somewhere else on the internet. Bye guys.